All right, so I have to say, first off, that I am completely freaking shocked at the turnout and thrilled to see this. My name is Meg Lanker Simons. Some of you folks know me. I've met some other people here today, which is awesome. And I have to say, I am so excited, first off, about Occupy Wall Street, but to see it coming to Red State, Wyoming. Yeah. That is fan-freaking-tastic. Because you know what? We send our senators back with like 76% of the vote. How does that happen when they're only representing 1%? I'm just kind of curious. Because, you know what? Mike MP, John Barrasso, Cynthia Lummis. Cynthia Lummis is a member of the 1%. Do you think that she cares about us?
No.
She answered my letter once. I wrote her a letter about healthcare, and I got a form letter back about the death tax. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was good.
So, I have to say, I have a radio show in Laramie called Cognitive Dissonance. It's on Friday nights at 10. Yeah. 93.5 FM in Laramie, Wyoming. So right over the hill. And I actually had a drunken jerk call in last night. Yeah, they call in a lot, but no, this guy first said that he didn't want politics, he wanted the music, and I said I'd be back to the music. And I had to play music to answer the phone because we don't have a delay. And so then he called back later and he said that he wanted to come down and go hand to hand with me because I support Occupy Wall Street and I'm radical and I'm anti-American. Really? Because I see some Americans out here. I see veterans. I see people from all walks of life out here. I don't see a whole bunch of radical hippies, honestly. I mean,
Wait a minute.
oh, okay, so maybe a few radical hippies, huh? But I can deal. Because you know what? Let's see here, who was it? Peter King. He said that we can't let this movement gain any legitimacy because then we might shape social policy. Good! That's the point! He compared it to the movement in the 60s that shaped social policy. Good! I hope it does. My parents grew up in that era. My dad was born in 1945, my mom was born in 1953. They raised me to be an activist. They were both union organizers. You know what the union gave me? The union gave me braces. The union gave me health care. The union gave me a chance to go to school without having to worry about whether or not I was too sick to go because I had health care. I went into the U.S. Navy. The best health care I've ever received was from the socialized medicine of the Veterans Administration. In the Navy because I can't afford it. There are some weeks where I look at my bank account and I debate whether or not I should pay the electric bill or should I pay the rent. How late can I go on the rent? How late can I go on my car payment? My car's been up for repo twice. Yeah, exactly. And I'm not having an irresponsible wit. I need a bailout indeed. Yes. Because you know what? I used to bank at Wells Fargo. They received a bailout.
Yeah.
The same day that they received a bailout, they charged my account $3 $35 overdrafts. Wells Fargo does suck. Now I bank with the local community credit union. So I encourage everybody here, get your money out of the big banks, move it to a local credit union. Move your cash money.
Move your money.
Move your money.
Move your money. Move your money.
You know what? Those people don't need to get any more money off of your back. Bank of America wants to charge you $5 to use your debit card. Excuse me? Really? Because $5 is a pack of cigarettes for me. And you know what? To the people who say, oh, you're not poor, you can afford cigarettes. You know, there's 20 cigarettes in a pack.
Sure life I can afford.
Right? There's 20 cigarettes in a pack. That's 20 days lunch for me sometimes. Because you smoke a cigarette and you're not hungry anymore.
Yep.
Just saying, I mean, it works for supermodels, it works for my chunky ass. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's an economically smart thing to do. Now, we've heard a lot about the 1%. Here's a little perspective for you. 400 Americans in this country have more wealth than 150 million people combined. There was a recent study asking Americans what they wanted their wealth distribution to be. They picked one that was closer to Sweden. My God, that's a bastion of socialism. What are we thinking? I say this country could use a little bit of socialism. We already have socialism for the rich. We have privatized the risk, but we have socialized the profit. Oh no, just kidding. We did it. What? I'm being sarcastic. Bingo! I was being sarcastic. That's what I'm saying. Oh wait, no we didn't. That's the way that it should work if the taxpayers bail out these large institutions. Instead, we have socialized the risk and privatized the profit. Did any of you get a check from the bailed out banks when they turned a profit?
No!
Who's on the hook for these banks going under? Us! Yay! All of us. I'm 27 years old. I feel 50. I'm exhausted. I go to school starting at 8 a.m. and I work until 9 p.m. Don't you tell me that I'm a lazy, un-American hippie out here demanding somebody else's money they worked hard for. I'd like to have a job where my only responsibility is running my company into the ground, doing a few lines of coke, and banging a couple hookers. Because that's what it seems like, that's all that's going on Wall Street.
You gotta have a lot of money.
Exactly, right? You gotta have a lot of money for that.
That's where the judge.
I come from Defiance, Ohio. Defiance, Ohio had one of the largest GM plants in the country. That plant employed 5,500 people when I was born. By the time I left my hometown, it employed roughly 100 who kept the lights on, and the people who'd been out of work for 6 months were told they were going back to work any day now. They're still laid off.
And 99ers.
Exactly, they're part of the 99%.
No money. No, 99ers don't get any money.
Oh yeah, the 99ers for the unemployment. Yeah. And you know what? These police officers who decided to crack a few heads in New York, in Boston, in Denver when they were threatening to take people's pets to the animal shelter if they didn't leave. Those police officers are part of the 99% too, but they are working as a security force for the 1%.
Yep.
That's right.
We pay.
Yes.
They get the benefits.
In New York City, $37 an hour will buy a Wall Street Corporation and NYPD cop. They moonlight as private security forces. I want to know, which side are they on?
On ours.
Well, at least they're paying, right?
Yeah, exactly, right? If they go under, are they going to defend the NYPD? Are they going to defend their salaries? We as taxpayers pay the police officers' salaries. We pay for public employment. And that cruiser that just went by, I hope that officer knows that he's a part of the 99%. Because he is. I hope so.
White shirts.
The white shirts, yeah, the white shirts. If you guys don't know, the white shirts are the higher ranking officers, and they're the ones who have perpetuated the most brutality. I'm going to tell you something. In 2004, I had to have emergency surgery with no health insurance. My hospital bill, by the time collections sued, was over $110,000 with interest. They couldn't find me to sue me. They sued my ex-husband. I don't, really care, but at the same time though, I had that $70,000 debt hanging over my head for surgery. What was I supposed to do? Say, oh, I can't afford that, so I guess I'll just go on ahead and die. You know, I've had a nice life. I was only 21 years old. I'm not gonna do that. I'm 27. I have a nephew who's 8 months old. His name's Charlie. He looks like a Gerber baby. I mean, this is the freaking cutest kid you've ever seen. I don't know what kind of future Charlie's gonna have. At least I'm in college. I'm paying, though, with federal subsidized loans that I'm gonna have to pay back. And quite frankly, I'm terrified at the prospect of graduation. I'm thinking perpetual student sounds kind of good. You know, defer that as long as I can. Nobody's bailing me out on student loan debt. But people my age, my generation, we are the future. And we are going to be, the class of 2011, we are the most indebted class to graduate college in history. We have people graduating with bachelor's degrees who were told, this is what you need to do. They did everything right. They went to college. They got degrees.
And big debt.
And big debt. And they're working at McDonald's.
That's the way the scam works.
If they're working. We have people who are in the military who are getting their houses foreclosed on while they're gone. Illegally. We have people who are in the military who are, supposedly defending our freedoms, who are being cast aside in favor of big corporations. And I have to say to the people in power, which side are you on? You may have the majority of the wealth in the country, but we have 99% of the vote.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
1% may have the wealth, we have 99% of the vote. And you know what? It's about time we started using it. Voter apathy in this country can no longer exist. My t-shirt says silence is complicity. If you are silent, you are complicit. If you do not vote, you are complicit. You are complicit in the destruction of the middle class in this country. The middle class that supposedly built this country. Ronald Reagan was fond of saying that it's morning in America. I hope to God he spelled it with a U. I think it's time that we take that out so that it's spelled M-O-R-N-I-N-G again, because right now it's not. This is not the America I defended in the U.S. Navy. This is not the America that I grew up believing in. This is not America, Inc. This is the United States of America, as you were saying, of the people, not over the people. And I say it's about damn time that we remembered that, and I'm glad that the Occupy Wall Street protests are making those in power nervous. They damn well should be nervous.